It's great to connect. Thank you for reaching out. The last time we convened was in March of 2022, so it's great to catch up.
Yeah, likewise.
Um, so this album looks exciting. It sounds exciting. An anthem for everyone. Talk to me a little bit about this project. Kind of, how did it all come about? You got a cast of great musicians around you. How did it all come together?
Yeah, well, I mean, the last album I did was a trio, and the trio kind of changed a little bit. I took the drums away and added violin, so that this trio with bass, violin, and electric guitar, we've been doing a bunch of gigs. We played some clubs and some concerts. So I was really getting into this new sound. So that's kind of how it developed, and I also had a couple of songs written that I had lyrics for, which is a new thing for me. I've been composing for years and doing instrumental music, but now I had these couple of songs with lyrics. So I was on the search over the last several years for the right vocalist. And there's a lot of vocalists out there, and I've played with a bunch of them, a lot of fabulous singers. But I was looking for something with a little bit unique, something different. And a couple of years back, I found Hannah Barstow. She's a young, I had never heard of her before. She's a local Toronto singer and piano player. Yeah, just sort of started, I approached her about it, gave her the songs, we got together. And then, getting putting all the pieces together for the album took a couple of years, just getting the finances and the logistics. But so it was basically a trio, with this added vocal element, lyrics, and as well as what happened is a lot of my tunes, I incorporated a vocalise. Hannah did some vocalise singing over some of them, which ended up really thrilled with the result.
So talk to me a little bit about the title of the album. How did you come up with it? And the artwork's very unique. How did all of the packaging and the title come about?
Okay, well, during COVID, I composed a tune called Anthem for Everyone. We were all locked away in our studios, in our homes, couldn't go anywhere. So I remember composing this particular piece during the time, and it was just, I do a lot of writing at the piano. So I was, just this tune sort of just emerged. And I thought I would approach it or title it Anthem for Everyone, because we were all in the same situation. Everybody on the planet seemed. So that's the title track and the tune that sort of led the album. The artwork, a local artist, Eugene Beck here in Toronto. He's a great guy. He's a visual artist. He did a lot of video work for me. He would show up at the clubs and take videos and make these little movies of performances. I approached him about the album, and he listened to the music. And there's a version of "O Canada," which is our national anthem, on the album. And he came up with these sort of maple leaves, this sort of image. And when I saw it, it was just bang. That's it. I didn't have to discuss it any further. It was just that's the sound. That's the image for the sound.
And I would imagine in these modern times, and I don't want to get political here, but it's especially in America, it's really strange. And with things that have gone on between Canada and the United States, which we've always had such a good relationship. Mm-hmm. What is your take on releasing music, especially as a Canadian now? And a big part of your market's going to be America. Where are you at on just kind of putting music out there during these modern times?
Well, I think music is one thing that brings us all together. It's it knows no borders. Many of my favorite musicians and artists are Americans, and some of them are Canadians too. I don't. Music to me doesn't know a border.
Yeah.
Even though it's challenging for us to come down there and play. Legally, but it knows, the essence of music and art just knows no border. So that's kind of the spirit of what I was getting at. And the lean towards Canadian, the Canadian national anthem is on the album, and the maple leafs on the cover. It was a little bit of national pride, I think.
Yep.
Was behind the scenes there. But respect to everybody. I think music just brings us all together. We're all human beings.
Well, I think about the times that Louis Armstrong would go with the UN envoys with Dizzy. I think it was in
Hmm.
48. They went into war-torn areas of Africa and wars would stop. It was the neutralizer. It was the thing that unified all of us. And that's I think that's the idea of music now with albums that are coming out. We need music. We need a level of comfort more than ever.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Um, how's Toronto doing? How's the Toronto music scene? I mean, it's always seems like there's wonderful material that's coming out, but how is the how's the Toronto music scene doing right now?
It's quite vibrant from what I can gather. I mean, there's a whole, younger generation, and then the younger generation. There's all these young players coming up. A lot of them are going to the local universities and schools, training well with some of the veteran players. So there's a very healthy scene of the veteran musicians mixing and playing with the younger players. Um, I can think off the top of my head. I mean, Dave Young, the great bass player who lives in Toronto,
Yeah.
he's constantly playing gigs with younger generation players. Um, and I used to do a lot of work with Don Thompson, who plays on one of my CDs, and who's another um, you know veteran of the Canadian jazz scene. And he had the same reputation of playing with, just always wanting to work with the younger players. But it's quite vibrant. There's still a club scene. There's a lot of concerts. Um, yeah.
So let me ask you this on an anthem for everyone, what are you ultimately hoping the listener gets from this project?
Um, I mean, it's the next stage in my compositional output. I mean, first off, just the wonderful musicians I have. Hannah Barstow singing and playing piano on one track, Aline Homzy playing violin, and Clark Johnston playing bass. I mean, they're just wonderful players. They just their playing alone. I'm always very proud of what I write. My compositions are they're my. I have three children, but the compositions that I write are my other children. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I carefully craft things, and I think that's ultimately what I'm hoping people will notice, is that just the craft of my composition. And in this particular album, I've got two songs with original lyrics, um, which is another layer that I've added on.
So what are you doing for live shows, promoting the album, all of that good business?
Yeah, well, we have a CD release coming up in October at the Jazz Bistro. October 21st. It's a Tuesday night. So the four of us will be performing, music from the album. And as is usually the case, I have new things that I'm writing. So there'll be some new things that I'm going to pull out. Music is an evolving process for me. There's always new material coming up and coming out. But yeah, that's the main thing I have going.
The one thing about promoting albums is the journey to, making the album, producing and mixing, mastering all of that, and then getting to the point where you promote it. You're way down the line. Is there a bit of nostalgia every time you get to come back and revisit this and think about it and really dig into the mechanics of it?
Um, Sorry, what do you mean by?
I mean, just kind of like because it's been so long in the making of this album, and then when you start talking to radio and journalists, I mean, is there a set of you that kind of revisits this time of making this album, and there's a nostalgia to it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I have that sense with all the albums that I've produced. I mean, I can remember the process, um, and it's nice to sort of look back on an album, and sometimes I'll even play things from previous albums just to sort of get that sense of nostalgia. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to get a copy of the album, the best way to benefit you, go to the CD release, any of the other fine activity going on in your world, where do they go and find out about it?
Well, I have it's available. It's a digital release only.
Okay.
So there's a digital version of it available at Bandcamp. All of these links can be found on my website, jamesbrown.ca. Of course, it's streaming on all of the usual streaming platforms, Spotify and Apple Music and that sort of thing. So that's an easy way to get to it. Yeah.
So, as an addendum to that, I'm curious. I'm hearing more and more musicians are just putting it out digital only. Is it because it makes sense economically for the musician because of all the promotion and all the production? Or are we finally hitting that era where CD players are becoming an alien thing to the younger generations?
It's the later thing, I think, mostly. I mean, I
Yeah.
would have loved to have the physical. I love holding a CD, but
Yeah.
it was just economically not worth it. I have rooms in my place where there are boxes and boxes of CDs
Yeah.
of old ones
Yeah.
that just aren't going anywhere. I mean, even if I were to give them away, people would look at them kind of funny and go, what do I do with this?
What is that? I I get so many in my mailbox every week. Every Halloween, I'll hand them out to the kids, and they look down like some kind of encoded key fell out of a UFO. They're
Yeah,
like, "What is this?"
yeah, yeah,
Like it's recorded music. You put it in a CD player, and then it just they're more lost after I explain that. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
wild. Well, cool, man. Hey, it's thank you so much for reaching out with the album. I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to profiling it on the show, and best of luck with the CD release and everything else. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.